I'm Baker Wild, and this time we're going to be exploring one of the most dystopian places in southeast London, Woolwich. You see, Woolwich for a lot of people for a long time has been a place that if they're immigrants, it's likely the first place that they'll see in London. It's often the starting place for many, and they try and get their foot in the door and they try and get started with a new life here in Europe. But in the last 10 years, Woolwich has seen a massive amount of redevelopment. But what if I told you that none of that focus, that attention, that care had been put into the Woolwich that we know? What if I told you that there was another Woolwich on the other side of the road where everyone lived completely different? Today, I'm going to take you through a tour of this dystopian Woolwich in southeast London. I'm going to have to keep my head on a swivel and I have to keep my eyes over my shoulder. Now I went to the very top. I tried to go to the top floor of the car park, which said it was the 8th floor. And when I got to the staircase like there was a guy sleeping there. So I actually got a little bit freaked out. And I decided not to go up there. I remember coming here as a kid, and even as a young boy, I still realized how decayed and how sad and miserable this place looked. Now the interesting thing about Woolwich is it actually has quite a rich history, from the original namesake and birthplace of Arsenal Football Club to a place where they created munitions and tanks and other equipment for World War I and World War II. Now in more recent times, Woolwich has not really been seen as a great place to live. There's quite a bit of poverty, there's quite a high level of crime. A teenager was just stabbed to death here only a few weeks ago. And slowly and surely, gentrification has really taken its grip on Woolwich. A place that for decades, maybe for 20 years, didn't really see the people that live here, that have called Woolwich home the whole time, didn't really see them get anything new. They have a hospital, they have a town hall, and they have a train station and a leisure centre that they're now about to knock down. Today I'm just going to show you the stark contrast between the original Woolwich, as I would call the real Woolwich, and the newer, much more flashy side, as they call the Royal Arsenal Riverside development. And here behind me, just to show a little bit of how Woolwich has evolved, we've got the old Coronet Cinema. I used to come here as a kid, and now it's become a church. Not really a place of worship. My aunt went there before, and she pretty much said that it's just people throwing £20 notes and £50 notes at the stage to show who has got a better, who's got a greater love for God. Now here as we're greeted to Woolwich, and already we can see some classic Woolwich sites. We've got some undeveloped land, which you'll always see empty spots. You've got some old buildings. Again, more church indoctrination, and then you just have a lovely pile of garbage, which is just classic Woolwich, and no one's cleared it up. So a bit of fly tipping has happened and no one's really cared. I'm pretty sure this used to be the bingo building. I think it was where they had Gala Bingo, and now it's become another church. So we've got 2 churches already, and we've only just started. Architecturally, Woolwich is a very interesting place, because it looks like at one point there was actually a lot of money here. Now where we see a travel lodge sign is actually quite a grand building, and now just turned into a hotel. So now, as you can see, even more rubbish. The place is basically one large bin. It does seem like a bit of a bin, but literally the whole thing's being dug up, and I guess they're going to try and make it better. They're going to try and give it a lot of new stuff and make it a better place. Here we have the DLR station. We're still in normal Woolwich now. Alright, so I couldn't show you Woolwich without showing you the beautiful town centre building behind me. Very grand looking building. And next to it, across the road, probably one of the most used, important buildings of Woolwich, the job centre. And behind us, the more recently opened Woolwich Centre, which I've got no idea what it's actually for, but as you can see, homeless people like to sleep there. So yeah, there's that.
He expects you.
Right, now we're near the park for Woolwich, which has a newly fitted TV screen as of about 5-6 years ago maybe. Now, when there was the World Cup playing and England were playing against Croatia, they actually had the football being shown on this massive screen. The screen that you can just see through there, and they actually showed the football on that screen. And for once in Woolwich's history, people actually came together and they didn't argue, they didn't fight. Okay, one guy got kicked out because he was too drunk and he was being a bit bad. But other than that, the whole green was just filled with people there to enjoy football. And it was a beautifully sunny day. No one got killed. And it was actually a good memory I have of Woolwich. It shows you can actually have good times in this place. No matter what people say about Woolwich, you can actually have good times here.
Please don't stoop my distance. No, I know. She needs to go. She needs to go.
My job, proper woman. That's how I cut my cheek. You understand me? That's how I eat.
Other than Woolwich being a place where they made munitions and tanks and things for the war, there was an events venue here that in its heyday hosted some of the biggest musical groups from around the world, like the Temptations and the Four Tops, and it all happened in a place here called the Tramshed, which maybe a lot of people today don't know about. And they have revamped it, although I'm not sure if anything is going on inside. And what used to be, I think, Summerfield or Safeways or something used to be alongside it where those buses are. Now, whatever that is going to be, I've got no idea. But that's much of the story with Woolwich, I'm afraid. Let me go around here and I'm going to show you, I'll show you some of the extent of this brutalist kind of nightmare that we have. As this massive development they've been making, people living above Tesco. Okay, here we go. We've seen the bit that's finished. That bit's been like that for a long time. And look, you come out of Tesco. Check this out. Open as usual. Entrance this way. Mate, look at that. Look at how low rent that is. They didn't even have a proper Tesco sign. They just put a banner on top of the scaffold. It's classic Woolwich for you. It's classic Woolwich. Alright, now we're going to walk down some of the original streets. I'm going to show you a little bit of what this place is like. It's absolute fucking chaos. Let's not get run over. It'll be our birthday before we cross this road. So all the usual stuff you'd expect: fried chicken, milkshake places, cake shops, butchers, fishmongers, barber shops. Pretty much all the usual stuff you expect to see in a working class neighbourhood. Some clothes just on the side of the street. Here we're at the historic Tramshed building. Let's see what's going on there now. You know what I mean? The whole place is just like a building site. Look how dystopian the train station looks. It's a little bit more what I was saying. It's like if you started a new game in GTA and you were going to have a safe house in the first town, this is probably where it would be. Probably one of the most culturally rich parts of Woolwich. And hey, how's it going? Probably one of the most culturally rich parts. That's the interesting thing with Woolwich. This side, even though it's been forgotten about, and we have like a massively diverse range of people, the other side, the gentrified side, which we're slowly walking towards now, literally is devoid of character. There's no real culture there. There's not really much of anything the way I see it. It's just really clean with modern corporate places like Starbucks and stuff like that, which is just all those people want. No family run businesses. Where this side of the river, there's tons of family run businesses, markets and everything like that. And now we're on what we would call the main strip of Woolwich. But as you can see from here, none of it got updated for decades, bro. Like, look at how crusty it is. The crusty is strong here. I mean, these buildings up top are probably like, I don't know, 100 years old, but that's exactly how they still look now. Here, this public market building, which is shut, I remember being a kid and coming here, and the little shutters were always open. You could go inside and buy like CDs and second-hand things and like cassettes and vinyls and books and little knickknacks. There were all sorts of vendors all inside here. You could just freely walk in, and it made there a reason to come to this part of Woolwich. It gave it a purpose. It was like bustling life and things going on. Now, okay, now that we've seen a bit of the seedier side of Woolwich, the original Woolwich, with the cool old buildings and stuff, now I'm going to show you something really different. Now we're going to see the new complex that's been built the last decade or so, and it's what they like to call the Royal Arsenal Riverside. This gateway that we're about to get to is actually the original gateway for the secret Royal Arsenal city, a city inside a city, if you could. Basically, this is it. This right here is the gateway, and that was the original gateway where people would enter if they worked in this kind of in some of these businesses. It was a secret place where you could only go if you worked there, if you had some kind of clearance to get in there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be allowed in. And the scale of the place in there, as we got the River Thames is just over that side. The thing was like 1 mile wide, so from the river to this side was about 1 mile, and stretching down probably almost near to Abbey Wood, it was about 3 miles long or something like that. So it was actually really big. And that's it. You had the public market here over my shoulder as well. Woolwich Public Market, the High Street and Powis Street is, which is now where like everything has been dug up, I guess, to like revamp the market. And then on the other side, which let's say maybe 15 years ago or something, you couldn't go. Let's cross quickly.
Bro, ask before you film, yeah?
Alright, well there you have it. I was talking about the kind of people that live on this side, and straight away I'm trying to make a video of the old gateway and the guy is accusing me of filming a woman's ass. Wow. Wow, okay. If you're thinking of going to that coffee place and you want to pass the vibe check, I wouldn't go to that place if I was you. I totally don't recommend it at all. The guy is super fucking rude and thinks he has the right to be able to tell people where they can film and that they have to ask in public. Wow. These people are pretty fucking horrible around here. I don't understand it. I don't know what's wrong with them, man. We should have stayed in real Woolwich. Why did we come to this side? But anyway, we're going to carry on with the tour. This building behind me called the Dial Arch now has become a pub, right? And a lot of the buildings around here, I guess, was used for things like munitions, building things. You could say it's a little memento. I don't know if it's original, but you can actually still see the cannonballs on the top there, where they've got this really crazy kind of clock. This now is a pub. It's actually a pretty cool pub. A few years back, they said they were going to put a brand new station was going to come to Woolwich, and it was going to be Elizabeth Line. It was going to allow people to travel to places all around London, like with more ease and much quicker. And then people thought, oh, okay, it's going to be on the normal side of Woolwich. It's where we've got the Arsenal and it's where we've got the DLR station and everything like that. But it didn't get put that side. It got put on the side with M&S Food and with Gale's Bakery and with Starbucks and all the typical signs of a gentrified world that you would see. This pretty much shows you that if you were one of these people and you came to live here on this side of the road, you would be able to come from your place living in one of these I don't know, fancy old historic buildings, and you'd be able to go get your overpriced latte and go to work on the Elizabeth Line without even having to so much as look at anybody you know, so much as even look at anybody on the other side of Woolwich. You wouldn't have to interact with any normal Woolwichonians that you would see, and all of their sort of like homeless filth as they would probably see it. I don't know, why do people want to be in this bit and live here? I'm not sure. Again, something that you would never see in normal Woolwich, boulangerie. They create something for the people and they create that. That is literally the best they could do. They could just put stones and posts. Where's the character? Where's the flavour? Where's the charm? There isn't any. There isn't any at all. Just lifeless, totally lifeless. Here we can see more copy and paste apartments. People walking home don't even know which one is their place that they live in, as they all pretty much look the same. And they're all fucking ugly. For some reason here, we just got a statue of loads of like imprints of people or something. I don't really know like what it's supposed to be for, but apparently that's the kind of stuff that they like. Yeah, I look like I could be in rural France right now. But pretty much here where we're walking now, maybe about 15 years ago or so, you couldn't go on any of this, you couldn't access it. When I tried to think about what was here before, and if I'd ever been down here, I had no recollection of ever being in this kind of area. I don't remember ever what was here. And now it's basically become an unusual, small, like, kind of village. A lot of the buildings now, whether they house like flats, or whether it's got like a gym in it, or maybe it's got a car dealership, or some sort of like, I don't know, event centre or something. A lot of them are all occupying the original buildings from all of the armaments and from the World War I and World War II time. Have you heard of a quarter pounder? Have you heard of a French 24 pounder? Sometimes you do see the lights on in there. I feel like it's some artist studio up there. When you actually look at some of the shit, it looks like an artist studio. Some freaky fucking dude on there, no idea what that's supposed to be. Guys, look at that. This place, probably only a couple of months ago, there used to be a park here. All of that there you could see was all a park. And it was actually pretty nice. You could just chill there on the green. And now it's gone. Now they're taking it away. That's truly bizarre. Sorry? Oh no. They ruined your view. Are they going to build block there?
Yeah, it's about 2,000 flats being built.
No. Oh my god. It's a lot. Have a good one. Oh, he was nice. No, there are nice people here, just not the guy that runs that coffee shop is what we've learned. But yeah, this all was a park. So it shows you that even if you pay to be on the gentrified side of Woolwich, you can still get served some pretty mean things. You could go from having a sunbathing spot to mud bath, basically. You could take a mud bath instead. Wow. But look, development everywhere, bro. Look. This is Riverside House. This is old as boots, right? And it looks old as boots. It's probably letting everything else down. Look, this one is way newer. And then kaboom, you've just got Riverside House, massive eyesore. And then you've got all of these much newer looking ones, all the way around. And then going back, and then you have Riverside again. Terrible. Alright guys, I think I had enough of Woolwich. It's not, I'm going to be honest with you guys, it's not a place I come very often. I feel like I've had enough. After that guy being horrible to me, it hurt my feelings. And the amount of decay, I think, as much as I normally love it, loving this LED sign, as much as I usually love it, it gets a bit brutal at a certain time. Pretty much this whole thing down here, all the way down to the back where they're developing, the whole thing was just market. And you could come and it was just best fruit and stuff that you wanted to get. Now unfortunately a little bit more depressing. Usually when you go behind the scenes in Woolwich, you find some pretty gnarly shit. Yeah, probably someone's home. But unfortunately that's a bit of that everywhere. Very decaying, and a lot of homeless people, a lot of people on drugs, a lot of desperation really. Here we are outside DLR station, and I feel like I'm in Blade Runner. Just so futuristic, and not in a good way. So yeah, I think guys, we're gonna end our video here on this crusty part of Woolwich. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour of Woolwich and looking at both sides of Woolwich. Let me know if you think paying £2,000 a month is extortionate for just being on the other side of this dystopian butthole, which Woolwich Arsenal, by the way, to people that really know, is actually Woolwich arsehole. So yeah, if you guys like the video, let me know. Hit the like button and subscribe for more adventures, guys. We'll be back soon. Have yourselves a great day, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.